Hey everyone, you're listening to InfoQuench with Jeff.
And Amy. We're chatting about how to get the most out of life.
And covering a ton of interesting topics.
So there's sure to be something.
For just about everyone. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, and welcome to InfoQuench. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Amy, and now we're on to part 2 of how to be a great party guest.
How to be a great party guest, part 2.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That was your recap of part 1.
And I hear it's going to get really pretentious. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. So we're going to finish off with the list from Delish.com. They say to eat when served. So it's polite to wait until everyone is served before chowing down. But if your hosts tell you not to wait, don't wait.
Don't wait. Just go ahead and eat.
Just go ahead and eat. I guess then it's okay. You've got the
and never eat the last of anything. Always leave the last cookie for someone else.
That's the Canadian way.
Yeah.
And there is no someone else. That's the big joke.
Is that yeah. Does that mean the Americans don't do that? Like they just eat it? They just eat it? Like they just like, oh, there's the last cookie, I'm going to eat it.
I just know that we do it, and we're Canadian, so I assumed it was the Canadian way. And
okay.
I probably other people do it too.
Yeah, I don't really follow that rule, honestly. If there's something there, I'm going to eat it. Like,
are you trying to snap it up though? Are you trying to get the last bit?
No.
Are you trying to get more than anybody?
But if someone's going to leave it, I'm going to eat it. I should have a T-shirt that says that. Go to the party with the T-shirt.
It could be really misinterpreted.
If someone's going to leave it, I'm going to eat it. It really could. Yeah.
If you didn't listen to part 1, make sure you listen to part 1. I should say
part 1, we discuss a lot of different things like, what did we discuss?
Well, you just have to listen and find out.
Something about like something to do with the fridge and like, escaping your fridge or something. Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
And leaving things next to things. Yeah. That's what I got.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it's stuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure they're closer now.
I'm gonna rub that salmonella and E. coli and
all over your green peppers. It'll sound like that, but it won't sound like that when you're being sick.
No,
anyway,
it actually might.
Continue. Oh yeah, it might actually. It actually really might.
Volunteer to help clear the dishes, but don't stack them on the table. It's not a restaurant. What? I didn't make that colorful.
That's bull crap. One of the best things you can do is stack things for your host. But
they're basically saying volunteer to help clean the don't just sit at their table and just stack stuff. Take it straight up to the kitchen.
Okay, yeah, that's you
smell what I'm cooking there?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You picking up what I'm laying down?
You would do that.
Do I need any more cooking analogies?
That's something that we would do. Yeah,
we would. I think our friends just do that. I mean, a lot of this, I'm like, our friends do this.
Yeah, now we're cooking with gas. Stuff. That's another one.
And when it's time to leave, be quick about it. Grab your things, thank the host, smile, turn, and leave. In that order.
Wait. Smile, turn,
leave.
And leave. What about hugs?
No, there are no hugs. There are no acts.
Is this the pretentious list? Or
no, we haven't even moved on to the pretentious list.
Oh my goodness. I can't. I mean, if it's a small, intimate party, you got to give everybody a hug, don't you?
How small and intimate is this party?
Like 5 people. No more than 5 people. You want to hug more than 5 people.
Okay.
I'm thinking, don't you? If they're really close friends, you just give them a hug. If you just met them, you're just going to give them a fist bump or something and say, catch you on the flip side, pal.
Oh, what's with the fist bump? I feel like that's... I don't know. That's like the corporate way of not shaking hands during COVID.
That's better than shaking hands for the most part.
Well, that's true.
So there you go.
People are still doing that. That didn't go away.
Better than having meat next to veggies.
Another tip is to thank them again. You've done everything correctly up until now. Well, that's quite an assumption. Now grab a piece of paper and a pen and write a quick thank you note, including one detail from the evening to prove you were actually there.
What? To prove? I peed on your floor. It's still there.
Do you remember? I remember that you served this, that strawberry dip.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. This is not the pretentious list. This is just the regular party.
This is the regular list.
Oh my! I'm not going to any of these parties.
And
This is way too much work.
A phone call may seem easier, but it's ultimately awkward because after all, what else are you going to say after you say thank you?
Who calls anybody anymore?
I know.
You
If
just
you're
text.
calling me, it better be an emergency.
Yeah, you just text. Thanks for the party. It was fun to see everybody. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you got to do.
That's right.
You don't need to prove you were there. They know you were there.
Phone calls are
You're
for
not a
911.
ghost.
That's really how it's done.
I don't understand this. I feel like writing a nasty letter back.
Emails are too impersonal. Go with a note. You'll get invited back next year.
Who emails anybody
And why is
anymore?
this person's only having a party once a year, so you got to play it. You got to play it right because this is going to be a rager.
I am not going to go to this party. I will say no thank you.
Well, perhaps you'll
Unless
go.
they're serving lobster. And then I'll go.
Well, if lobster is on your menu, then perhaps we need to go to the Aristocracy London website, where impeccable manners for party guests are covered.
Okay, are we switching? Are we crossing over right now to the
that's
pretentious?
what that was. That was my segue.
Okay, that's a beautiful segue.
But when you call it a segue, it loses all,
What was it called
appeal
again?
of a smooth segue.
What was it called again?
The website is Aristocracy London.
Aristocracy London.
Impeccable manners for party guests.
Impeccable manners for potty guests.
Potty
Potty.
guests.
Potty.
Not potty guests.
Potty.
Not
It is if
guests
you got
going.
salmonella. Anyway.
So the first step is that appearances matter. You don't need to fret about what to wear if you're just going over to your mates to watch football. Otherwise, you should make an effort. And they have a collection of tuxedos and lounge suits that can inspire you for any occasion on this website.
What?
This website has an ulterior motive.
Man, yeah, it does. It's like rent our tuxedos and
lounge suits. What is this, the 70s? Are we like Sims? Who's wearing lounge suits? Or isn't there a leisure suit lounge Larry? Leisure suit Larry? Is that a thing?
I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Is it a game? I think that's a game.
Sims is a
suit.
game, and I think there's something around a leisure suit, and I
Yeah.
think there's a guy named Larry, and the suit has to be blue.
It has to be blue.
And all those details come together in my mind in the past in some way.
I don't know. I don't think I'll go to any party that requires you to wear a suit because I either have to go and rent one or borrow one or go buy one.
You have your wedding suit.
I do. Right? That will not fit me now. I do not think.
Well, we packed it up in that nice dry cleaning bag.
That's right. We could probably sell that puppy or save it for Hugs when he gets married.
We'll have to wait till it comes back into style.
Yeah.
Something else you shouldn't do at one of these highbrow, is that the right word? Highbrow
yeah.
affairs.
Yeah.
Is bring extra baggage. And this isn't literal baggage. They're using a metaphor for people here. Whether you can bring someone else along depends on the circumstances. Always check with the hosts and remember that it may be hard for them to say no, but equally hard to accommodate. Well, then why the heck check with them? Especially if it's a small affair or a seated dinner. So
if you're saying like, can I bring my wife and my kids to the party
to the bachelor party,
and then they are all put out because they don't have enough chairs for the kids or whatever, no high chairs.
It doesn't even talk about kids, and I'm not going there because I feel like that's just
ludicrous.
Well,
it is.
Is it really a party?
No, it's not.
It's
the
a
party
birthday
to get
party.
away from the kids. That is the party. No matter what the party is. I'm just joking.
Food. Never bring food without asking, especially if you're going to an invited meal. So don't
add to the menu.
I don't.
That's what they're saying.
Our friends always bring food.
Yeah, always.
That's a thing
we
all do. We all bring food.
Let's be honest. We're not the odd people out. We
yeah,
bring
because
food.
the person hosting shouldn't always have to do all the
It's
food.
funny though because our friends
are way better at
are
bringing
way
food.
better at making homemade like dips and stuff, and we're just like, oh my god, last minute we got to get to Superstore and get like a 7-layer dip, and
They always
Yeah.
are popular though.
they get eaten every time.
Thank goodness for
Yeah.
those 7-layer dips, because we don't have it together enough to make
They're
something
not
ahead of
cheap
time.
anymore, I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah.
anyway, nothing is. I sound so old saying that. What's next?
Don't be difficult. That's what's next.
Oh, don't be difficult.
Don't drink too much or wipe out the buffet. Don't start arguing with other guests or your spouse, and don't ambush.
Wait a minute. Don't wipe out at the buffet, like you fall.
Don't wipe out the buffet.
Oh, like
don't
just eat it all. The
Don't
food.
eat all the food in the
Okay.
house or the buffet.
I was picturing some kind of Chris Farley fall at the buffet or something.
Don't ambush the host with dietary requirements. Well, I feel like. And if you have a genuine medical condition, notify them in advance and offer to bring your own food.
Holy jeez, man, this is high maintenance parties. Like, would we ever go to one of these? We would have to have a checklist before we even go to the party. It's a lot of work. A lot of work.
It's
a
almost
lot of
like
work.
it's like weddings. Weddings
Yeah.
are a lot of work to go
Yeah.
to. They are.
Well,
Not that I don't. I like weddings are a beautiful celebration of love.
there's difficult as you want it to be though, because like really all you need to do is just get a gift and go, and then go home.
There is an RSVP process though,
Oh yeah,
and then
but
there's
usually,
photos and receptions and all these other things.
I guess it's still not too bad.
Don't strike a pose is a tip. So when it comes to social media, take your lead from the host. If they're not sharing pics on Instagram, then neither should you. Also avoid tagging people without asking them first. So it would be strange to go into someone's home and just randomly start taking a bunch of photos from it, but I feel like the parties these folks are going to, they're in some like
Mansions.
McMansion places that are Instagram havens, and people are wanting to take pictures all over the place. So
That's not a life
I really
we know,
don't. It's not a life we live,
or we know.
or we know.
Yeah, we see it on TV, I guess, but
I know, and I mean, don't strike a pose. Well, like us would be our strike a pose is our friends all playing headband and
oh yeah, that
capturing
game.
a video of it accidentally while everybody's trying to
Yeah,
do like charades or
yeah.
so. Yes.
I can see that. I mean, we rarely even take photos at parties or have our photo taken.
No, it's not really a thing that we often think to do.
Anyway, yeah.
Red wine stains. Although it rarely happens, particularly if you're not drinking red wine. And even if it does, the experienced host will be chilled. Why? Because they're
Chilled?
so used to these frequent red wine incidents. But you should definitely offer to rectify or pay for any damage or spill you cause.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the best thing to do is just jump up right away and try to like mitigate the stain. Try to fix it. You know what I mean?
Well, like, what are you ruining here? Like, am I in a house that's like wall to wall white carpet?
Or
'Cause
velour like couches and stuff. Like, I have no idea, but it sounds pretty posh.
I know.
I don't know. I'm not even going to be there. We don't even want to go to any of these parties that we're talking about. It's pretty funny. People will be like, "You want to come to the party? These are all the things that'll be happening and that are expected of you." And we'd be like, "No, we're going to stay home and watch reality television."
Well, we're gonna watch
Yeah.
the other people go to the parties.
Yeah, we're going to watch other people go to the parties on our TV.
But in going through all of these, yes, a lot of them won't apply, but some of them do. I often think about this, like, how do you be a gracious host if you are invited? And they are the little things. So I think that there are some good tips amongst them all. But there's a lot of other things that we can talk about, like dust jackets.
On books.
Right.
Okay.
I know. I think
Wow, that was quite a...
that was a non-segue. It was really hard for me to say
okay,
that.
though.
I almost said jacket.
Ducks, yeah,
Those are what you wear at dusk.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, a jacket you wear at dusk.
The sun is setting, darling. Can you
You
please
have-
get my dusk
Yeah, I have my
jacket.
morning jacket and my duck's jacket.
dawn jacket?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Dust jackets are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're more like they make a book more valuable because like I've got this what is it a Hemingway book and it's worth more because it has the dust jacket.
Well, of
It's
course,
an old
because
book.
it protects it. But it's
No, but if I had the same book without the dust jacket, it would be worth less.
right. But they're kind of annoying. And they
Oh,
don't
I-
look
I get
nearly
it.
as nice on
I
a
get it.
shelf as
Yeah.
a regular one.
I take them right off so they don't because
Do
they
you?
get all. I sometimes, not all the time, but I do.
I leave them on.
I just take them off and just
I'm
take
so disappointed in myself.
I leave them off.
I feel like you're just footloose and fancy free, ripping off dust jackets, and I'm
I
sitting
put
here
them
not.
aside though for when I'm finished the book, and then I
You're-
put it back on.
You dog ear things, don't you?
No, I don't. I do not dog ear. I find whatever I can. I don't care what it is to use as a bookmark.
So what?
As a bookmark.
Okay.
I was going to say dictionary.
Dictionary. Didn't you recently find someone's bank statement as a bookmark?
I do. I still
in a
have
used
it,
book that you
actually.
bought.
I still have it. I'm using it as blackmail in case I ever ran into the person.
So if you are going to use random things as bookmarks, remember to take them out if you're donating your used books. Although we will not use that for anything other than.
I don't know. I
bookmark.
think it's better to leave them in. Every once in a while, I'll peruse the books at Value Village, and I'll find things in books, and I'm looking for things in books,
So
and I
that's
find them.
because there are Jeff's.
Find little
existing-
drawings and like little notes to people and stuff. It's quite entertaining, to be honest. It's like records too. Sometimes I find things in records that you wouldn't expect to be there.
in records.
Yeah.
Like, give me an example.
Oh, I found a little baggie of dope in in a record I
Well,
had.
hopefully not a record you bought overseas and then tried to.
No, this was a long time ago. I found drawings in records. I found money. I found what else?
How much money?
I don't know.
Like a nickel or like a
No,
$100
no.
bill?
No, it was like a $5 bill.
Oh, a fiver.
Yeah, a fiver. An old
A
fiver.
dime bag and a fiver.
A dime bag and a fiver. That's right. Nice one, honey.
How is someone slipping a bag of Mary Jane into
I don't know.
a
Maybe they're
jacket?
hiding it from their spouse and they
I know,
don't
but
want them
like,
to see
how do
it.
they get it flat enough that you can't tell it's in there?
It's just it's flat in the record. You wouldn't even know it was there unless you. Yeah.
Is it enough to like a third of a joint?
Yeah. Or no, it would be a full joint, probably. Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't like
I
cat?
might still
maybe,
have it.
Maybe it was catnip. or
Maybe it
something.
was catnip, but I wasn't rolling around in it though, so
I
it
feel
probably
like it
wasn't.
It could have been a spice.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I know what marijuana is.
It's
It
legal.
wasn't a spice. It wasn't oregano, honey.
We're recording our podcast out of Canada, where marijuana is legal.
Yes, it is.
Just like to
We
put
are
that-
not going to cut this out because
Just gonna throw that in there.
it's what we do.
You can buy it legally here, and there
Yeah.
are stores called Cannabis NB, which is short for New Brunswick, which is the province we are recording out of. And so, yes, I guess every once in a while, walking down the street, you get a waft of oregano and think,
Yes.
that's not the oregano I remember as a child.
No.
That's a different brand of
Yeah.
oregano, and that oregano, my friends, is marijuana.
That's right.
Or someone hit a skunk. Very
Yeah.
very close smell. All right. Can we talk about all the steps that are involved in cooking a frozen lasagna? Did you notice, so we've been buying frozen lasagnas lately, and there's a lot of steps in making it. I almost feel like it's easier to make it because you have to cook it with, first you have to lift the corners of the plastic, and then you have to cook it for, hours with the plastic on, and then you've got to peel the plastic off, and then you got to cook it again, and then you got to take it out,
For another
and then
10
you got to let it
minutes.
sit and rest.
Do you
and
still
think
read the
about
instructions when you cook it?
Think about its existence before you cut into it.
Do you still have to read the instructions, or do you got it down now?
Do I still have to?
Yeah.
Was that your? Oh,
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have to, or
Do-
do you?
or
do you
do
got
I
it
have
down?
such a sharp memory that I remember all those lasagna instructions?
Yeah.
Is that what you're wondering?
Yeah. Do you remember now?
No, I always double check because you
Me
don't always
too.
buy the same brand. And sometimes they change. Sometimes they just switch it up. And is there really a big difference between 400 and 425? I don't know that our oven is that precise.
See, the last 10 minutes when you take the plastic off is to brown the top with the cheese.
Well, yes.
And
I
if you
understand
don't
the
do that,
logic.
then it's not a proper lasagna.
Like when you're cooking a regular lasagna. Well, I guess you put foil over it, don't you?
I used to make it from scratch, but that's way too much work.
It
Now
really
we just
is.
get the frozen stuff and
Some people make the whole noodle from scratch.
yeah.
Did you ever say unthaw as a kid?
No, I don't think so.
I did. That's my confession.
Yeah, unthaw.
Which is really to freeze.
Yeah, that's really to freeze. Yeah.
I used to also say I'm going to put a piece of toast in the toaster. I was really just thinking forward. Very future thinking I was.
Piece of toast in the toast. No, I've never said that either. To be honest, I've known people that said paschetti instead of spaghetti.
Oh.
Yeah, shudder.
Oh. Can you specifically tell me who they were?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can. But yeah, it might have been me. Might not have been.
Jeff and I recently went to a restaurant and had a meal. And the meal was, and I won't say which restaurant we went to, but the meal was so utterly tasteless that we actually took COVID tests when we get home.
Yes, that's right. I had the steak and garlic mash, and I'm like, I can't taste this.
And I had it was some sort of Mexican dish, which you would think, I can't remember the exact, but Mexican typically is spicy.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
And we had no symptoms of COVID, but we both came home and took COVID tests.
We did
We're like-
right
we're
away
like-
too, because we're like, why can't we taste
And I
that
thought,
food?
what kind of review would that be for a restaurant? Food was so tasteless, we thought we had COVID.
Yeah, I know. That would be great. Oh man.
I caught myself the other day saying please to Siri.
Please? You asked. You said you were polite. I'm never polite to those things.
Or to the Google thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, could you please tell me the weather
Sometimes I get so
temperature?
upset at it that I forget to even say Google. Like I just say turn it down, and then I'm like, okay, Google, turn it down. You don't have to yell. Like,
Does it tell you that?
no.
Oh. That's what you say in your own mind? Is that what she says to you? But I'm very polite when I ask my artificial intelligence for
Please be
information.
nice to me. Yeah.
Jeff and I went to an outdoor concert, which is very much out of my wheelhouse.
We're doing it again.
We're doing it again. We went to a Grateful Dead cover band called Wharf Rats, very popular
Based
around
out of
our neck of the
Halifax.
woods, Halifax, Nova Scotia. And we saw them here in St. John at Area 506. Great concert, but it did start to downpour in the middle. Didn't dampen anyone's spirits. But I love that this man walked up to me and he said, because when it started to rain, I put up my hood and I zipped up my coat. And he said, wow, you came prepared. And I looked and I thought, this is the only jacket I own. He thought I was so forward thinking.
Was that the
I
guy?
actually had
But was that the guy that was just frantically like dancing around like he was on acid or something? There was one guy who just did not stop moving and was going to people he didn't even know and like, don't you love the Grateful Dead?
Oh, this guy seemed to be very genuinely complimentary and of sound mind and body. And
Okay,
said,
okay.
He really thought
At a
ahead
Grateful
with that
Dead
coat.
concert.
And I thought I have two.
Well,
I have
cover
two
band.
coats. I have the odd extra coat that doesn't really go into rotation, but I have my winter coat and then I have my coat for the rest of the seasons, and it happens to also be waterproof because why not?
You were actually dancing in the rain,
I know.
like, and enjoying the music. It seems so. We're going to be doing it again.
We
So
are.
why not?
Did you eat raw hot dogs when you were a kid?
Yes, I did actually, but not a lot. But
I
you know
did
what?
too.
It was the cheese slices for me. We've already gone through that, but
Well, yes, we've covered the cheese slices, but I was talking with people around the fact that I feel like it's our generation that grew up sort of in the 80s, 90s, eating raw hot dogs with no fear of listeria.
mm-hmm.
I don't know what we were thinking. And now when I think about it, I just think it's disgusting. That milky water in the package. But nope.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not too bad.
All right, let's
It
get
won't
on
hurt
here.
you.
I notice that every time I go to toss the remote over to you that you brace yourself like I'm just going to kill you.
You have hit me many times. Like I'm.
I want you to
starting
know on the record on this podcast, it's not purposeful. I just have very poor aim.
Oh, I know that. That's why I protect myself.
I'm like,
Your
do you
aim
need
is
the
horrible.
remote? And you full on like
Your
go
aim is
into-
horrible.
You turtle, like cover
Yeah.
your head, like
Yeah.
waiting for it. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock your teeth out with it.
Yeah.
Did you know that a thalassophile? Well, can you guess what a thalassophile is?
Sounds like a dinosaur.
Well, thalassa is the Greek word for sea, and a thalassophile, THALASSO phile, it's defined as a lover of the sea.
Lover of the sea.
I am a thalassophile.
Yes, you are.
I went swimming just this past weekend, and it's August here in Canada, and it's beautiful. We get really hot summers, despite the fact that we have a stereotype for snow and igloos and sled dogs and such. That's really not the case at all.
No.
Anybody who's been here, but
No.
but I think there people who live ridiculously close to us. Like I've met people in Maine,
Yeah.
which is the state that borders, New Brunswick, Canada. And they thought that, I don't know if they thought you just drove an hour and all of a sudden it turned into winter wonderland, but we actually get, into the 30s, 40s into the summertime. But our ocean temperatures do not warm up like that. And I went swimming this past weekend. It was 13 degrees Celsius. And, but it was worth it because the salt water is, well, it numbs you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't go in.
People
I
numb
don't
themselves
really
with
know about
alcohol
this.
and hard drugs, and others
Yeah.
do it with the cold, cold ocean.
Yeah.
But it's healing. The
You
salt water.
thought you weren't going to get there, but I made sure you did.
You made sure I got there.
Yeah. I made sure that you got your dip into the frigid, fundy waters.
I always love how people are always like, it's not cold once you get in. The ocean here, it's cold once
No,
you get
it's
in.
cold the whole time.
I was there, I was in there the whole time. It's cold.
I bet you that the water isn't that much colder during the polar dips that they do there.
No, probably not.
Honestly.
And the air temperature difference isn't as much, so I don't, but that's the thing. You do warm up pretty quickly if it's nice and warm out
You
once
got to have
get
a
out.
parka as soon as you get out.
I don't know if I can do polar dips, but I do like the nice hot ocean weather.
Yeah.
I had a few extra little things here.
What do we got?
Why can't you turn the button on a clothes washer backward? Why is that a thing?
What do you mean?
You can only turn it
Oh.
in one direction. And if you go by the amount of minutes, let's say you want to wash clothes for 12 minutes, if you go by a little bit and bring it down to like 5, you got to start all the way and go all the way around.
I honestly think that has something to do with like the mechanism of the actual dial. So that
but
like
why is it on clothes washers?
it doesn't
and
really
not-
make much sense. It's just the way things are. It's just the no rhyme and reason of the universe. There's a lot of things like that, right?
I'll mention the Olympics because it has been a little while since we've done a podcast, and the Olympics have come and gone, and we watched some really strange sports. Like sports, we don't even watch sports really as a family. We're not big.
No, not as a
into it.
family. I watched the all odd ball game and whatever, but
But there were some weird sports we were watching.
what were we watching that was weird?
What's that one with the horse dancing?
Oh,
How is that a sport?
is that the equestrian? Is that what it's
Dressage or
called?
I don't know. And not to downplay what goes into any of this because these athletes are all incredibly amazing, but we watched a lot of sports. And there was some weird kind of soccer game, a version that we had never even seen before.
The mini one?
Yeah.
Was it the mini game?
It's strange how they just kind of throw in like
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah. What sport in the Olympics do you feel was not really is not really a sport? Like that shouldn't be in the Olympics.
Breakdancing.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Oh my goodness.
I think
that
it's done.
Australian woman has been memed out. If I've ever
Reagan.
She, college professor, and I don't know, they might call it university in Australia the way we do, I don't know. But regardless, she's a professor.
Yeah.
And there's some controversy around that,
There was
too,
some
right?
controversy that
Like
she
her
had-
husband was on the selection committee or
Right.
something. That's a pretty obvious bias.
Yeah.
Someone didn't catch that early on?
I saw a video of some of the Australian breakdancers who were really super, super, super great at what they were doing. Like they were spinning on their heads and then their backs and whatever. But they never got into the Olympics.
She did.
She did. So I mean, I can't really talk too much about it because I don't really know too much because I intentionally don't want to know, to be honest. But
Well, I think we've covered just about everything. I will leave with a last tip that you can actually get cleaner for your washing machine, for your laundry, like washing machine. You buy it and you put it in an empty cycle, and apparently it cleans your washer. We used it. I don't know if it made a big difference. Our drum was a little bit off center and it was really noisy. And what we've really figured out, this is our real big tip of the day.
oh,
Just-
the biggest tip.
If you have a really loud washing machine and like that drum is off center, the best way to fix it is to just close the door so you don't have to listen.
That's right. Just leave it. Don't get it fixed. Close the door, and it numbs. If you have a door to close, if you don't, just build one around it, and
Put
then
your plugs in.
it'll be quieter. Because honest to goodness, listeners, we've been doing that for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And it's so bad. It's so bad that it literally sounds like boom, 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 boom. It sounds like a crazy
I don't know how the whole
Ibiza.
room doesn't just fly off the house.
It's yeah. Anyway,
But you know what? It works for us, and so we wanted to share that glorious tip. If your washing machine is causing you stress, just do what we do and block it out. Block the world out.
yeah. Forget about it.
Shut it all out.
Everything will be ruined eventually. So
Well, that was
might as well make it slow motion.
Well, that was part 2 of how to be a great party guest. Make sure
Yeah.
you listen to both parts because, my goodness,
So we're gonna invite you all over to our place
yeah,
for our
we
party.
need you to be good party guests, folks.
Yeah,
Or
be
we
good.
failed at our cause.
Make sure you smile, turn, then leave. And we love the part where you leave. See you later, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thanks for listening.
Be sure to check out past episodes and subscribe to keep up with what's new.
You can find us anywhere you get your podcast, and why not leave a review?
You can also follow InfoQuench on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Till next time.